Puerto Rican kid, bald head, loves snakes, loves Blizzy, Sergio Chacon.
Yeah. What up, Pa?
Peace. Welcome to the DBS podcast. It's your boy Sergio Chacon, aka Blizzy Chacon. That shit whack. I mean, it's always gonna be dirtbag shit podcast. The DBS podcast.
My man Pistol Pete. What's good, man? How you feeling, brother?
Feeling great. How you feeling?
I'm well, man. Well. Since I met you, I've always been fascinated by that name, Pistol Pete, because it's like one of those names that's been passed on. Like you had the basketball player, you have a few like hardcore street drug dealers named Pistol Pete, but you're the first boxer I know named Pistol Pete. And that's a dope ass name. Who gave you that name?
I fought when I was an amateur, I fought in a tournament in Long Island, and the announcer gave me that name.
Just like that, an announcer.
Yeah, the announcer gave me that name. Like the ring announcers. He announces for like big fights now too. They started from the amateurs, now they moved their way up.
Okay. It's just like any other grind, right? They might start amateur fights, then club fights, and then some bigger joints.
Yep.
What's his name? Do you remember his name?
I forgot his name, but he used to do the Golden Gloves, but it wasn't the Golden Gloves. It was the New York State. I remember exactly the tournament, New York State tournament, and it was in Long Island. It was for the belt. Yeah.
So you were. It was an amateur fight when you got that. Got that name.
Amateurs. Yep.
Did he have dreads? Did the announcer have dreads?
That's my guy. The dude with the dreads. I would have said not him. It's another guy.
All right, because there's a few dudes.
There's like three of them.
There's like three. Yo, none of those motherfuckers look good with dreads.
No, only one has dreads. His name is David Diamante. That's my guy.
I like David Diamante.
He did like my first or second amateur fight ever, and now he works for the Nets and all of this. He's doing big things now. But I remember he was doing my amateur fights back in the day.
That's dope.
Yeah.
So he might have had those kid and play dreads. Like mad short.
He had the same dreads, the long dreads.
Yo, those shits. Yo, this motherfucker's dreads are so long. He looks like the ghetto Rapunzel. Like he could throw them shits out of a window and his girl climb up them shit. Those shits are long. They're like down to his calf muscle.
Yep, he had those. I started my pro debut. I mean, no, not my pro debut. My first amateur fight, I was 16, 30 right now. So he had dreads for like 14 years.
And there's another dude.
Or longer. That's when I met him 14 years ago.
Yeah, I have a feeling that that's part of their way of standing out, right? It's like, I got the dreads, I'm the announcer, to separate themselves. And there's another guy who does more like Broadway boxing. He's a light-skinned black dude. And he might have been a fighter in the past.
Damn, he used to run the Golden Gloves.
Yeah, Brian, right? Something Brian?
Brian Adams.
Brian Adams.
Yeah, that's my guy too. Brian Adams.
Yeah. I mean, they're both. Brian Adams, though, he needs to shave that shit because he got some bald spots in his dreads. You think I don't know? Brian Adams, shave your head, bro.
Brian Adams' dread is hurt, though. He got like he looked like his hair is just holding on to the.
Yeah, that shit was like mop strings.
He got the fade. The other David Diamante, his joints is fresh, so I like.
Yeah, no, he's laced and they're mad long. Brian's joints, man.
Got the Rastafarian dreads.
Yo, Brian's joints look like they're holding on by a pinky. Like, yo, I only got 4 more hours left on here.
Yeah, his fade, it just don't look good together. He got skip fade with the dreads.
Yeah, that's right. He does have the fade.
Yeah.
That's pretty dope that the name was given to you by an announcer because it's kind of whack, right? If a boxer gives himself a name, you can't give yourself a name. You got to be named.
Yeah, and that's also dope. Like my first sport was basketball. I thought I was going to the NBA, but I was a little kid, and I remember when I was like I got good ass memory. That's one thing about me. I can remember to like when I was like 3 years old. But I remember when I was like in first grade, my teacher, she knew I used to watch basketball. Like I love basketball. So like in class, she showed the whole class like a movie about Pistol Pete Maverick.
Oh, that's crazy how that shit went like full circle.
Yep. And then also like you know Pistol Pete, one of the gangsters, the one that like brought the Bloods to New York or whatever.
Yeah, his last name is I think it was Peter, obviously. Rolock. Rolock. Yeah, Rolock.
Like I'm close to his father. Like he's like family too.
Well, that's dope.
Too. Rolock.
Yeah, so you got that Pistol Pete, you got the basketball player, and you also have Pistol Pete from Terror Squad. He recently got a podcast out called Dog in the Yard, and it's about prison stories and shit.
Oh yeah.
I love listening to prison stories like that. I've been listening to that shit. My daughter's walking by. She's like, "What are you listening to?" I'm like, "My bad." One
of my boys, he was just talking about this the other day. We was trying to figure out. Well, he told me that Pistol Pete had the name first before the Pistol Pete Raleigh. I don't know. I thought Pistol Pete Raleigh was older than him, but my man's just like he's blood. So he was telling me about it. Like, that other dude had the name first or whatever. But I don't know.
Well, Pistol Pete, from Terror Squad, he's older. He's like 50 years old. He looks great. He's 50 years old. That shit, I was surprised. He doesn't look that old.
I haven't seen anything from him since like back in the day. I remember he was talking about like Fat Joe and them because I guess they had a falling out. Yeah. He was on Smack or something, like one of those DVDs, Smack DVD, one of those DVDs. I don't know which one it was. And he was talking about like how he had a falling out or whatever. But I haven't really seen him recently. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's interesting how before like social media had that surge, that's what everyone used to do that shit talking on Smack DVD.
Yep. I remember everybody used to buy them Smack DVDs or Cocaine City.
Yeah. Yeah. My shit before that was this is probably before your time, Faces of Death. This is not shit talking. It was just like gruesome, like killings and accidents. Like,
video?
What was that?
It was on video, like DVD?
Yo, my ass went to Blockbuster Video at like the age of 13 with pajama pants on, Timberland boots, and a white T-shirt that had yellow armpit stains, and my Blockbuster card to get Faces of Death videos. And these videos, P, were gruesome as hell. One video.
They used to let you get them, though? Because I remember back in the day, they used to let you get them. Because I remember back in the day, I tried to get an Eminem album when it first came on. They wouldn't let me buy it. And then my cousin came in. She was like 18, and they tried to say, "Nah, you can't get it because you get it for him." She was like, "What? She didn't stop me from buying this."
Yeah, I mean, the Blockbuster video I went to, they were cool. But I remember this one video. This guy didn't pay his taxes or something, so they tied 4 horses to his limbs.
For real?
Yeah, to his arms going this way, to his legs going that way, and they whistled, and they had the horses run the opposite direction, all because you owe like $20 in taxes.
That had to be in another. What country was that?
Yeah, that shit wasn't in New York. I forgot where it was at.
Colombia or some shit.
For real, wild, bro.
Yeah. Nah, it's crazy though, because our kids will never know what it's like to go to a Blockbuster. I remember when what was it? That game? Because I used to go to Blockbuster really for games. Remember when they started sending the games online? Like not online, but it was like a Netflix, but it was for games. And like they send the game to your house. And then you could like switch it up. I forgot the name of it though.
I remember that. Yeah, and it felt good. It was exciting to get those games.
Yeah.
You know, like even just going into Blockbuster, like the rug, the lights in there, picking it out. That shit was exciting.
Yeah, hell yeah, man. Kids. I remember I used to have a Blockbuster right up the block from me. I used to walk there. It was like at a young ass age to get some video games.
Yeah. It's nostalgic, man. Thinking about it, it's nostalgic. Everything these days is too accessible. You don't have to work for it. With Blockbuster, you had to get your card. You had to walk. Maybe you had to go with a friend, family member. Now it's just like everything is downloaded from the comfort of your own crib. It's
You
not
know
easy.
what's crazy? Like, so I use Amazon a lot. So like, I've been ordering stuff off of Amazon, but I like actually going to the store better. Like I went to Best Buy and I saw all of it. Like I saw a speaker that I was gonna buy off of Amazon, and I was like, damn, I could just come here and buy it. I don't need to use Amazon, because like Amazon Prime, I'm on that shit every day, ordering shit. So I'd rather just get it from the store. It feels better, like when you can look at it, and because sometimes you expect it to be something, and then when it comes, it's not what you expected. You know what I mean?
Yeah, absolutely. Yeah, it's the ritual of getting up, retrieving it, paying for it. But a lot of us have become, spoiled with just pressing a button that shit being delivered, and then it's just it's mad convenient.
Yeah,
it's mad convenient.
Like I bought my son some little car toys. I forgot the name of it. Some cartoon he watches, and the toys were like this big, bro. And for the price, you would never expect them to be this big. Like I'm like,
he got some throwback Micro Machine toys.
Yeah, no, I forgot the name of it though. It's like some it's some show they show now. It's for little kids. Like he's 2 years old, so like some new shit for 2-year-olds.
If your son wanted to box, would you support it?
I mean, I would support it. I'll just tell him how hard it is, and if he's not gonna really if he's not really gonna put his all into it, I don't think he should do it, because it's dangerous and you could get hurt if you're not giving it 100%. So I would let him do whatever he wants to do.
Right. So it was basketball first, and then how did that transition into boxing?
Like I used to play basketball, and I used to just fight every day. Like I used to average a fight every other day, or smack somebody or something like that.
Wait, during the basketball game?
During basketball games, I remember
you play like Rikers ball.
Nah. It would be like I'll be playing I played for the Gauchos. I played in real AAU basketball teams, but I'll get into an argument on the court, or I'll tell them yo, next time I'll tell them in the middle of the game, yo, when I see you out of the game, I'm gonna punch you in your face. When I see you, I just because I used to go play ball in the park by my house. I used to get into a fight every other day. I was already known in my neighborhood.
So you fought a lot as a kid. That shit came fighting.
So when I went to the boxing gym, it was natural. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
And then I stopped playing basketball because I was like, yo, I'm not going to the NBA. When I hit 16, around 15, 16, it was I had an option. All right, now you don't play basketball seriously. All your friends is stopping. They're not playing basketball anymore. Now they smoking weed, selling drugs and shit like that. Now we into more into girls and all of that. And then I found boxing, so it's I could have went that route, selling drugs.
Yeah, for sure.
Weed and boxing gave me a positive outlet, because I was good as soon as I started. I was sparring kids older than me, and I was beating them up, and I just started. You know what I mean? Or kids. Yeah. A kid that I used to spar with, he was boxing since 8 years old, and he actually used to get the best of me. And my boys that used to go with me to the gym, they used to be yo, he fucked you up, da da da. And then after a while, I just be yo, one day I'm gonna fuck this kid up. Then it happened. Then I fucked him up, and then he didn't want to spar me no more. He'll be when my trainer asks him to spar, he'd be nah, I don't want to spar Peter. He always tries to knock me out. And I'm bro, that's what we supposed to do, bro. He was nah. But before that, he used to ask to spar me, yo, can I spar him?
Yeah, that shit must have felt like a nice victory in the gym. You know what I'm saying? That must have gave you a surge of confidence, yeah, I got his heart, you know?
Yeah, that's how I knew, boxing was for me. Even when I won the Golden Gloves, I told myself, yo, I don't know, bro. If I'm not good at something, I feel like I don't, it makes me not really like it. I don't know.
That makes sense.
Yeah, I told myself, with boxing, I'm if I don't win the Golden Gloves this year, because I lost the first year I fought in the Golden Gloves.
What year was that?
I won it in 2010.
Oh, okay.
And then in 2019, I didn't fight because I broke my hand. So it was 2018. 2018 was the first year I made it to the quarterfinals, and I lost.
You in the gloves in 2018?
Yeah, 2018.
Wait, time out. But you were a pro at that time.
Or I'm bugging. I mean, 2008.
Yeah, okay.
2008.
Yo, you had me bugging. I was like, yo, how many fights you had in 2 years?
Nah, I just did the
2008. I got you. Okay, that makes sense.
That in the interview. But he kept arguing with them. They kept trying to correct him, but he was like, nah, 2018. They like, bro, you bugging out, bro. That was like last year. But yeah,
so right there, let me just stop you for a second. That shows that you're like a goal-oriented dude. It's not like you're going in there with like no plan. Like the fact that you told yourself that, like, I gotta win the gloves this year, or I'm not doing this shit anymore. Like you kind of set an ultimatum for yourself.
Yeah. I was like, yo, if I don't win the Golden Gloves, and I'm not as good as I really think I am, and I just
you put a lot of pressure on yourself.
So, you know, actually, it's my mom. It's my mom.
So you get that from your mom?
Yeah, because like
that's dope.
When I played basketball, like I always started on every team I played for. And then when I started like being on the bench, my mom was like, yo, you whacking basketball. I'm not going to your games no more. I'm not driving you to your games no more. And all of this. And then I'm like, damn, I don't even like basketball no more. Now she's like, oh, you on the bench? You're not a starter anymore? So then like with boxing, it was the same thing. She was like, yo, you like, if you're not winning, why are you doing this for? And then like, that's just my mom. Like my mom is a big part of the reason I box.
Yeah, that's kind of that is dope, man. And we have spoken before. You've always told me that your mother like believes in you like that. Like she's just like your biggest fan.
Yeah, she doesn't think anybody could beat me in a fight in the street anywhere. She thinks like it could be like a 260-pound, 6'8" dude. She'd be like, Peter, relax, don't hurt him, Peter. I'll be like, yo, Bob, only like 5'10", relax. Like,
yeah. Have you ever gotten into a fight in the street in front of your mom? Cause that's gotta be wild. Anytime I think of like a fight in front of like a mother or like a parent.
When I was really, really young, I never really fought in front of my mom. I remember when I was young, like I told you, I got a good ass memory. Like I got elephant memory. So I remember my first ever like fight. I think I was in pre-K, and I got into a fight. I remember it was like a boy and a girl. I fought two people. Like they jumped me, but it was like as a little kid fight or whatever.
Little kid.
And when my mom came to school, she's like, yo, did they hit you first? And I was like, yeah. She said, if they hit you first, you hit them back. I don't care. Then I stand out in front of the teacher, so I'm like, oh, I'm all right. So then after that, every time I got into a fight, I'd be like, Ma, but they hit me first, Ma. But they hit me first. And then I was getting into so many fights. She was like, I don't care if they hit you first. Tell the teacher. If they hit you, don't hit them back. Tell the teacher. Because I was just getting into fights like all the time. Feel me?
Yeah. That's hilarious.
Yeah.
Yo, it's fucking hilarious that you're talking about fighting since a young ass kid, you know, like, and then you whip out this small ass little teacup.
I know about the teacup.
That shit is adorable. How small is that shit?
This is espresso. That shit's strong.
Yeah, you look mad big compared to that shit. You were like, yeah. Wow, man. So 2008, and then how long after the amateurs did you decide to like go pro? And what was the motivation behind that?
Yeah, So in 2013, I lost the Golden Gloves finals in the Barclays. But that year, I beat like all the top amateurs in New York. Like one, Brian Sabalo. That's like,
yeah, absolutely.
Like at the time, he was like #1 in the country, and he was doing his thing or whatever. That's my boy, but when we fought in the Golden Gloves, I beat him, and he was the favorite to win. I beat him and some other kid named Tyrone James. He was like a favorite to win too. I beat him. I beat some Russian kid that was like ringing with mad fights that came to New York trying to fight in the Golden Gloves or whatever. I beat him. So I beat all the top fighters, right?
So ringing is like a dude, like his records don't, like outside of the country, don't account for the tournament here.
Yeah. Even though it was the open class, so it doesn't matter how many fights you come, but they had a lot of fights.
Yeah, open is like beyond, what, 20 fights?
I think They say 10, but I don't know.
Somewhere along that, 10, 20. And there could be, you could have like 50 fights and fight somebody who had 20 fights.
Yeah, you can have, if you're open, so like once you make it to the Golden Gloves finals, you're automatically open.
Right.
So you could afford in the Golden Gloves, like novice usually is like, you fight like 5 times to make it to the finals. So you'll have 5 fights. Say you only have 5 fights, you fighting people with like 100 fights once you get
that's
to
wild.
the finals. Yeah. But I beat 3 of the top dudes, right? But I didn't even expect it, bro. Because at that time, I was working a job overnight. I was working in the hospital overnight. I wasn't even like taking boxing that serious. And then I made it to the finals. And then I lost to
What were you doing for work?
I was a patient transporter.
A patient transporter?
Yeah, overnight.
So, like working at a hospital or like
I worked in the ER.
Wow.
Like bringing patients around and shit, bringing them up to the room straight from the ER.
Okay.
And I worked from like 11:30 at night to 12 a.m. So look, so when I was winning, they like one time I had a fight, right? In the Golden Gloves. I'm like, yo, I got to fight. I asked for the day off. They're like, oh, sorry, we can't give you the day off. But I had like sick days. So I called out sick. But they're like, since you already had asked for the day off, we got to suspend you. They suspended me for a week.
Damn, that's some dirtbag shit. This dude is trying to live out his dreams. He's asking for the day off. He has sick days that he can use, and y'all being assholes. Who's this dude? Who I gotta call, bro? I'm tight off that.
But I'm happy about it though, because like that's one of the I quit that job, and that's when I decided I'm gonna go pro and I'm gonna take boxing serious.
Oh wow! So I'm not gonna make that call. That dude is good.
Yeah, it was a lady though. It wasn't.
Yeah, she's good. She's good.
So but that it's funny though, because when I quit, she tried to act hurt because I was quitting like, oh right,
yo, because you're an asshole.
So but yeah, so then they suspended me. So then when I was fighting in the Golden Glove finals, they put me to work that whole week overnight. And like,
damn,
I did some dickhead shit. Like, I should have got a hotel room in Brooklyn because, you know, I live all the way in the Bronx.
Yeah.
The weigh-in, they did it different. They did the weigh-in at like 12 o'clock in the afternoon. So I had to wake up early. Then I didn't sleep all night because I'd be nervous like the day before my fight.
Yeah, man. It's like
I'm an amateur. So I didn't even sleep. Then I went 12 o'clock. I went to the weigh-in. I wasn't on weight. I got a million excuses. I wasn't on weight. I was running around the whole Barclays to make weight. Then I had to drive back to the Bronx, chill till like 7 o'clock. Then come back to BK.
Oh, God, that sounds awful, man.
And then I was working overnight that whole week. And then the only day I had off was the day of my fight, like that night right before my fight.
God,
and then so then I'm like, yo, I was reading mad inspirational books and shit at the time. And then I was just like, yo, I quit. I went and I quit or whatever. One of my boys I used to work with, he was like, damn, bro. Because he used to always play with his phone, play games on his phone. I'd be like, bro, you always play games on your phone. He's like, yeah, I don't want to start reading books like you and then end up quitting my job. But like, I'm happy I did that. That was like a great decision. You know, I had to struggle in the beginning.
Yeah.
After I quit my job, but
wow, that's a great story though, man. What seems like a big deal and a loss and kind of scary is like ultimately is something that defines you now. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
Damn. So if I want to touch on that because I feel like a lot of people don't realize the energy that's going through your mind, right? It's like, for example, I want to go in chronological order with some of the fights because, you know, I've always been a fan. You don't know this, but prior to us meeting, I saw you fight at the casino in Queens. What year was that? I'm going to say 2014. Does that sound right?
Oh, yeah.
Maybe it was your third.
2014 or 15, maybe.
Yeah. So I saw
2014, I had 3 fights. And then in 2015, I had like that stretch since I turned pro. I fought 6 times. That it was like a year, but it touched into both years. You understand what I'm saying? Like, say I turned pro in September 2014. By September 2015, I fought 6 times.
Yeah. So you were very active during that period. You were fighting like 2 times, and a lot of good shit was happening. And I saw one of those fights, and I was supporting Alicia Napoleon and Will Rosinski, who are friends of mine. And I saw you fight, and there was something about you that I liked, man. I was like, I just like you had this composure about you. And then I meet you, and then I saw the other fights, and your last 3 fights, like people don't know this shit. Like these were when you fought Jeremy Nicholas for the title. That was a decent fighter, and that was a good fucking fight. Yeah. How'd you feel going into that fight? I'm sure what you left at the amateurs. Like, first of all, you had a good, the amateurs in New York City, winning the gloves, that's still a big deal, man. So that shit is held in high regards. Like, people don't know that. Like, winning the Golden Gloves in the city, that's a feat. This is not fucking Maine. This is New York. You know what I'm saying? Like,
But, so, like right now, I get so much better in boxing because luckily I got to travel and get out of New York, because like New York has good fighters like in New York, but other states will have great fighters, but it'll only be like 1 or 2 of them in the whole state. Like New York will have like 6 good fighters. So then when you get to the semifinals, you're fighting a good fighter in the quarterfinals, good fighter in the semifinals. Like other states, they'll just have a one nice ass dude. But like when I got out of the state, like it's just a different mindset out of there. Like they got a different mindset, and it made me a better fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I feel like it's still a huge accomplishment, Golden Gloves, but that experience is huge. Where would you say there's some popping boxers coming out of? I feel like the Midwest breeds a lot of good boxers.
Midwest, definitely. I like Florida boxers from Florida. Philly got good ass fighters.
Right? Nasty.
Philly, Midwest. Like Florida got a lot of bums, but it got a couple good fighters. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's good fighters everywhere. Every state got a good fighter. So it's
but there's something to be said too about engaging in battle with someone with a kind of like a different cultural upbringing. You know what I'm saying? Like it's from a different hood essentially. And the training is different. The daily rituals are different.
I don't know if you know this dude. He chilled, like he's from Brooklyn. His name is Philip Benson. He's a pro fighter. I don't know if you ever heard of him.
The name sounds familiar.
Yeah, I was just talking to him the other day when I was in McCarran Park. He was telling me, he was like, because he hangs out with Shakur Stevenson and all the up and coming fighters. And he was like, bro, Shakur's from New Jersey, but he was talking about like other fighters that be around them because they be like around the whole Olympic team and all of that stuff. And he was like, they come from the country. They don't got nothing to do out there. Like you see us in New York, we got a whole bunch of shit to do. Like all they do is train out there. That's why they be so nice. He was like,
that makes sense. That makes sense. There's very little distractions. In New York, there's so many distractions. I mean, you're in the city. There's people from all over the world who want to be in New York. There's a lot of distractions. But when you're in the country, man, like where it's fucking just chickens and, the gym is your social life. And the gym just carries on so much more of opportunity for you. And it's like it kind of like gives you more of a tunnel vision, I think, in a lot of other places. So in New York, I think there are a lot of distractions with the clubs, the parties, the girls, all that shit. But there's something to be said, man, about guys who maintain that discipline. So when you fought, if you remember, you say you got the memory of an elephant. How'd you feel? Because that was a jump up. When you fought Jeremy Nicholas, that was a jump up. I mean, he was an undefeated fighter. It was your first title fight, right?
I felt good. I felt like it was the opportunity. Like I had just signed to Holyfield, and it was the first fight they were giving me on TV. I got paid good for it, and I was just happy. And I was injured for that fight. Like I had a sports hernia. I couldn't even run. And like,
what kind of injury is that? Is that a leg injury? And
it's called a sports hernia, but it's not really a hernia.
Oh, sports hernia. Got it.
Yeah, it's like a tear on your like lower abdomen, like it's just a pain. Like anytime I try to run, it would be like an unbearable pain. I couldn't run. So it was like I wasn't even in condition for that fight like I usually would.
Wow.
But I trained hard for that shit though, like doing strength and conditioning.
Yeah.
Everything except for running. I couldn't run. But I feel like running gives me my, like, other than sparring, running is like my second best workout for conditioning. You know what I mean?
Yeah, because you get your wind up, man. You can, sustain for longer.
Yeah.
Wow. And a lot of people don't know that. A lot of fighters fight injured. And that's admirable. Somebody else will be like, oh, I'm injured. I can't do this. And you quietly fucking bit down on the shit and just went forward and fought. I mean, that's what you essentially had to do, because you can't really, especially at that level, just coming up, say, I got this little hernia. That's the way they're going to diminish it, right? Dismiss it, right? They're going to be, oh, you got it, then all right, you don't want to fight. And who knows when the opportunity comes up again.
Yep. And then actually, the people from the promotion sent me to that doctor, and they told me I couldn't fight, like, because I was trying to fight right after that again, and they're like, nah, you gotta let that shit heal. We're not gonna give you a fight.
Wow.
Like they let me do the first fight, but then they didn't let me fight for a while.
That was the fight you had the Yankee outfit on?
Yeah.
That was a dope outfit. Who did that outfit for you?
AA Boxing, my man Angel.
Yeah, they're from the Bronx too, right?
Yeah, he's from Bronxchester Gym.
Yeah, they do a lot of good work. Even their equipment is not bad. I just don't see a lot of it, but they got AA gloves, right?
Yeah, they've been doing their thing for a while now. Yeah, that's my guy, Angel. He always shows me love. Ever since I was an amateur, he showed me. When I won the Golden Gloves, I was training in his gym. So when I in 2010, because my gym had closed down, so like we went to his gym, he was training me. That's my guy. His mad love.
That's dope.
His spot is in on 125th. He makes some dope ass outfits.
Yeah, I've always liked what he did.
Outfit because I'm fighting soon. I'm fighting on August 21st. So
word?
I get it from him because I get sponsored. So like my last couple of Yankee joints, he made them, but I got a sponsor for them. You know what I mean?
That's what's up, man.
Yeah.
I want to talk more about that fight, but like I said, I'm going to go in chronological order because I did some research on the younger god. You know what I'm saying? I've always been a fan, but unlike you, I don't have a memory like that, so I had to write some of the shit down. So the next one, and this is a fight I actually went to, was against Salim Larbi, and that was recently. And the layoff. So at this point, you had it for in what, 2 years?
Yeah, almost 2 years.
So that's ring rust. You're back home in Queens, and I physically went to that fight. And dog, I gotta say, your composure, and this coolness, I was like, damn, this motherfucker he looked good. So you had I guess the word is stoic. Just you had a poker face. You just walked in, yellow shorts, little sweat. No expression on your face. Boom. And you put this dude away, man, and in a very impressive manner. And the thing is, this dude had a lot of experience. You know what I'm saying? And if I remember correctly, in his corner was a good, decent team. He had Zab Judah's father in the corner. He was a southpaw. He's got, he had over 34 fights. And, you dismantled him, bro. You went in there. And your style of boxing is very unassuming because I kind of if I had to compare it, I wouldn't say it's a Danny Garcia, but in the sense
I was going to say that before you even said that.
Yeah.
I'm
correct, right?
I was going to say Danny Garcia. Nah, I just knew because people tell me that like my boy Erickson always tells me that I fight like Danny Garcia.
Yeah, and I it's the reason why I say that is because I like Danny Garcia's fighting style. I like the he's a little unorthodox, but there's power in both hands. That's one that I've seen. But also it's unassuming. There's not one thing that flashes out. You're not moving with crazy footwork. I almost feel like when you fight, you use what you have to use and nothing more. But if a motherfucker makes a mistake and gets touched by you, it's crippling. So you got good fucking power. But even your body makeup, I look at you, I'm like, this motherfucker doesn't look like he can crack, but you could crack, dogs, and you've always been known for that, right?
Yeah.
Both hands, man. Yeah.
I feel like I got the fights that I have that I didn't stop somebody. It was because I didn't rehydrate the right way.
Interesting.
Like, ever since I started rehydrating the right way, I've been getting stoppages in all my fights.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, and you got a nasty uppercut. I like you set it up, and you got a, it's very subtle movement. It's very subtle movement, and you have a good sense of range. Like, I just think you got a lot of good shit that I enjoy watching. Like, I see it, and I'm like, yo, that shit is fucking impressive, man. And yeah, no, I'm a big fucking fan, and I see that. And I think what people need to know, if they're passive boxing fans, is that the people you're fighting, these are not tomato cans. These are fucking decent dudes with lots of experience, and you're coming off a 2-year layoff. Like, that shit is not easy. Psychologically, it's not easy. You know what I'm saying? And then most recently, I mean, I was so fucking excited for you when you fought Emmanuel Medina, because this shit is on the tail end of Keith Thurman and Pacquiao.
Yeah.
That's an amazing position to be in. But what pisses me off about pro boxing is that the lack of respect towards you and Medina, in the sense that I felt like they should have. Why didn't they televise that shit? Maybe you know better than I do, but that pisses me off, because I'm like, yo, you guys worked as hard. You know what I'm saying? You guys should be in a position to be televised.
I think it was because we were supposed to fight on another card. We were supposed to fight on the Charlo card like a couple weeks before in Vegas. But then I got sick, so they canceled the fight.
Oh, I remember that, man.
Yeah, but then
you had like COVID or some shit.
Nah.
You had COVID before that shit was in style.
I had like a poison ivy shit on my chest.
Yeah, it was like a skin. Yeah, it was like a nasty ass rash.
Yeah, so they was like that. I can't fight with that shit.
I was like, this motherfucker hanging out in the Bronx Botanical Gardens, getting sick out there.
Yeah, so then, but then I knew they were gonna do this though. So then they waited like 2 weeks, and they're like, "Yo, you want to fight?" In 2 weeks. I was already still training though. You know what I mean? Because I was like, "Yo, I was in shape already. I'm not gonna waste this shit." And I knew they was gonna try to catch me off guard, because that's what they
do, right? They try to set your ass up.
Yeah. Like, even when they first offered me to fight, they offered it to me on 4 weeks' notice. You know what I mean? And that's a 8-round fight with an undefeated 16-0 dude. You don't do a 4-week camp for that. You know what I mean?
Yeah, they try to catch you slipping.
Yeah, so I came in on the B side. I came in as an opponent. I was supposed to lose. They had me in the Vegas odds. They had me as the underdog. I think the odds is 2-1 for him, or whatever. But they didn't know. They must have not looked at their footage. The footage.
Yeah. Yeah.
I knew I was gonna beat him though.
Yeah, you're not wavering. That's one thing about you, that and this is talking about you personally. I'm not going by what I've seen on TV, because I know you personally. Like, you're not wavered by shit like that, man. And I'm always like fascinated with someone who's like that disciplined. And so that also got to be nerve-wracking though, right? It's like you get the 2 weeks, you got sick the first time. I guess the excitement overrides that though, right? So you arrive at the arena where Pacquiao and Thurman are fighting. How long is the fucking wait? What are you doing during all that time? Are you there?
You know what happened?
First fight on?
You know what happened? This shit is crazy, because like, so they like, oh, you fighting? I'm on. They said I was gonna fight on TV, but as a swing bout. But in order to get on, somebody had to get like knocked out to get on TV.
So swing bout, meaning that you're gonna go after Thurman and Pacquiao.
No. A swing bout is like a bout for timing of the TV channel. Like, say the fights are on TV. Like, say people are getting knocked out, they gotta fill the timing.
Got it.
The main event to go on at a certain time.
Understood.
So what happened was, it ended up like one person got knocked out, but it was still good enough time. So I was already going out. Like once he got knocked out, they like, all right, put your gloves on. I'm wrapped up, going out. And then they like, yo, cut the shits off, cut them off. You're not gonna go up. So then the thing is, I was there, I think I don't remember what time, but I was there since the fight started. And we in Vegas. I was there from like, damn, what time did I get to?
You probably got there like around 1 p.m.
Yeah, like 1 p.m., right? And I was there, and then I ended up fighting at the end because they told me I wasn't fighting. They're like, yo, you're going to get paid. You're not fighting. Your fight is over. But then my manager went to the back, and he's like, yo, you fighting. I don't care what they talking about. And then he went to the back, and then he's like, oh, they're going to put you on after the main event. And then I ended up, I was there all night.
Dogs.
I couldn't eat. And I couldn't even eat because they're like, yo, you already, like, once you're in the back, you can't eat.
Yo, like for people listening, you gotta understand. This is P's like biggest fight at the NGM Grand, Pacquiao Thurman undercard, and they're giving him this runaround bullshit. Yeah, you're gonna be able to swing bout. Oh yeah, you're gonna go up, glove up. Oh yeah, you're not gonna fight. Like that shit is nuts, bro. And throughout all that, you just remain like chill and calm. Or at one point, did you ever feel like, yo, what the fuck? Like, and then someone had to cool you down or something. Or you were cool like the whole time?
Cool the whole time because I already know, like,
you've dealt with this before.
I've been through so much shit. Like, shit don't affect me. Like, I just know. I know what the ultimate goal is. So if I don't fight, then I don't fight. But I'm still gonna stay in my zone and be ready to fight because I don't want to get out of that zone and then have to fight. You know what I mean? So I'd rather just stay in the zone if the fight is canceled and the fight is canceled. But I'm gonna stay in the zone so I know 100% the shit is canceled. Stay calm, act like the same way I would have acted if everything would have went right. I'm gonna act the same way.
Wow, is this something you developed that you always had as a kid, or is this something with being within the sport of boxing is you just accumulated, like just the understanding and the discipline to remain cool? Or was it something you always had?
I didn't have it actually as an amateur. When I was an amateur, bro, I used to get so nervous before a fight. I used to hate that. That used to be the part I hated the most. Because once I got in the ring, like,
that shit goes away.
That shit goes away. But while I'm in the back with my hands wrapped, I'll be so nervous. Like, and then I think about it. Like, it's something you forget about, though, because you're so nervous. Then you fight and you win, because I won most of my amateur fights. Then I forget about it. Then I got another fight, and then the shit happens again. I'm like, oh, I hate this shit. Then I fight, I win again, it goes away. It's like a tattoo.
Yeah.
Before you get a tattoo, you forget how much it hurts until when you go back to get the tattoo, get another tattoo, you feel me? Like, it's similar to that. But then, like, I just studied, like, mad boxers. Like, I read mad autobiographies, and I just studied boxing, like, because, like, and they say the greatest boxers ever got nervous before they
fight. No one's exempt from that.
Yeah.
You know, no one's exempt, right? You know,
Mike Tyson used to get so nervous before a fight. And one time he was like, he was about to leave. He saw the train, and he was like, yo, I'm about to dip and hop on the train. And then he didn't leave. He knocked the dude out in the first round.
Was that his first amateur fight?
Amateurs. I don't know if it was his first fight, but it was when he was an amateur. He was like, he saw the train. He's like, yo, the train is right there. I'm about to leave because he was so nervous. And then he read books about, like, old time fighters, and he realized, like, his heroes, the people he looked up to, was nervous too, and they just, like, you know, they learn how to control that shit.
Yeah.
And also I learned, like, when I'm nervous, that shit makes me fight better.
Well, I think there's something to be said about having that very natural response from your mind and body. First of all, it shows you want to do well and that you are in the moment. You know what I'm saying? Like, I equate that with, like, stand-up comedy. You know, like, if you don't feel a little bit like nervous, then you're not really interested in it or something, or you're crazy.
Yeah.
Or you're just fucking crazy.
Nah, but it's like when I was young, and I used to be like, say me and my brother got into a fight. They used to chase. My brother's older than me, so I used to run from him. But, like, on a regular day, my brother could catch him. He was way faster than me. But like when I was nervous and I was scared, he can't catch me. Like it's impossible. Like it's like my abilities, like I turn
become
into
more enhanced.
like they get enhanced, and that's how I feel. Like when I'm about to fight, when I feel those nerves, I'm like, yo, I know I'm gonna fight better because I feel this. Like this shit is gonna make me quicker, make me smarter, make me punch harder. All of this fear makes me a better fighter. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Like,
and it's crazy. I mean, you train hard as well. You're eating right, and all that. Equals to like being a more fluid, smarter fighter. Who's your who would you say were your inspirations, like as far as like fighters are concerned? Who did you watch? Like, and it could be anybody. It could be someone. It doesn't have to be like a super duper. Who was the guy though that you fucking liked a lot?
I forgot about this though, but my mom, my man Jose Guzman reminded me. I used to look up to Floyd Mayweather. I remember I used to watch 24/7 with fucking Oscar De La Hoya, like the first one. And I used to, every time I watch an episode, I'll call him like, yo, get your running shit. We out. Let's go running. And I'll be like, yo, I'm about to run to your house right now. And I used to go to the gym. I used to wear ankle weights. And then they used to tell me like, yo, you can't wear that. I'm like, yo, Mayweather wears that. They're like, you fuck up your knees. Stop wearing that. And I was
so
like,
you ran with those or you just worked out with them?
Shit, I worked out with them. I trained, jump rope, everything. I just didn't run with them though.
How heavy were they?
Like probably like 10 pounds, 5 pounds.
Yeah, that might be. Yeah, I think if they're light, it's always like they say you shouldn't run with weights because you get like water in your knees and shit. So did you stop doing it? Did you listen to that people at the gym or you kept them shit on?
Yeah, I stopped doing it because the trade. But I noticed Mayweather stopped doing it too, though.
Yeah.
Like, but then what happened was like it's funny because you know how I fight. Everybody says I'm a come forward fighter, aggressive fighter, but when I first started boxing, I used to try to fight like Muhammad Ali, Floyd, like moving around the ring. And then I got a new trainer. He was like, yo, you punch hard, stop moving around the ring and go forward. And I used to spar this guy that was pro, and I was just starting boxing. And he, like, when someone's working with you, they don't really punch at you. Like I used to just punch at him. And I used to just come forward like a Mexican style fighter, just keep coming forward. And I got so used to doing it that I forgot about my how I used to fight. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
Yeah. So then then I started watching fighters that fight like that instead of watching Floyd Mayweather. You feel me? Because everybody's telling me like, yo, you fight better that way. You should fight that way. Fight better that way. But I
fight better which way? Like actually, like boxing, like moving?
No, coming forward.
Oh yeah.
And also, it's like with Spanish trainers, I noticed that. Like my trainer was Puerto Rican. Like a lot of Spanish trainers want you to just come forward and get somebody out.
Yeah. Shit, man, it's fucking served you right thus far.
Yeah, but I can box. So a lot of people don't know that.
Well, yeah. I mean, I guess it comes down to like if you're coming forward and that's not working for you, and you got to change the game. You got those skills.
Yeah, I don't know if you saw the Jeremy Nichols fight. I was boxing him for a couple rounds.
Yeah, I did see it.
He was short, so like when we get on the inside, I felt like he had the upper hand. So I was like, yo, let me box him a little bit. Let me move my feet.
Yeah.
So I think he was like 5'5" or something like that.
Yeah.
Little DJ, short dude.
Yeah, that was a good fight, man. I enjoyed that fight. So what's the status on this August 1st fight?
The contract signed and sealed, so
you have an opponent?
Got an opponent. His name is Joseph Fernandez. Actually, I'm gonna put a post later on Instagram. I'll make an announcement. I was waiting for today. I signed the contract like Thursday or Friday, but I was waiting for Monday to announce it for today. And
well, congratulations on that, man, because in the midst of this pause and everything, I know you're keeping busy training and shit, and to get a fight, that's a huge deal. Where's it gonna be at?
In Kissimmee, Florida.
Okay.
I just pray like it still goes throughout, like everybody, his team, my team, because the way my career goes, man, you never know what's gonna happen, bro. I just hope everybody stays COVID free.
Yeah, man, because Florida is on some real dirtbag shit, man. They got that COVID numbers are fucking up.
Yeah, he lives in Florida too.
Yeah, man. Yo, it's just like Florida's a free for all, man. It's like, yo, you want to go to a strip mall? You can get Xanax. You can get yourself a gun. You can get yourself a meth hooker. You can get yourself some iguanas, a Burmese python, 2 monkeys.
In Florida, last time I was in Florida, my boy, he was trying to go to a liquor store, and he was like, all the liquor stores was closed. It was late. And then I went with him. We went to some liquor store. That shit was in the hood. Like, they was selling, it was a chicken spot, a liquor store, a gas station, all of that shit in one spot. We like, yo, where we at right now?
Yo, some parts of Florida are mad gully, like wild, bro. First of all, it's hot all year round. You know, a lot of people, you know, own guns legally. I remember I had a show out there years ago at the James L. Knight Center, and I made a wrong turn on a rental, and dogs, I ended up in a spot that looked like Grand Theft Auto. Yo, it was like, yo, streets boarded up. There was crackheads dancing in the street, and it was like, that shit was scary. No stoplights. It was like a free-for-all.
Yeah, Florida is like my second home. I'll be like my you know, like when you got friends that's like your cousin, but they're not your cousin. Like they know they mom knew your mom before you were born.
Yeah.
Like I got like fake family out there, and they live in the hood too. They live in Opelika, like down the block from them. I forgot the name of the shit. It's always on First 48. And I remember, like, when I first used to go over there, I used to see, like, mad dudes just sitting at the gas station wearing clothes that we was wearing in New York, like, in the 90s. They wearing that out right now.
Yeah.
Dirty, just sitting there. And then you walk into the store, you see, like, 10 of them just sitting there, like, nah. But I know how to move in any hood. Like, I know, like, you just mind your business.
Yeah. You do grow accustomed to how to maneuver around. If you grow up in a certain area, you know, there's a street etiquette. You know what I'm saying? That you go by.
Yeah, like I can tell from a mile away if somebody is trying to set me up or trying to do some crazy stuff. You know what I mean?
You grew up in the Bronx, right?
Yeah.
And you're Puerto Rican and Jamaican.
Yeah.
Yeah. You ever go to Jamaica?
Not that I remember. I got good memory, but I don't remember. So I heard when I was 1, I lived in Jamaica for a year. Right?
Okay. And your mom is Boricua. Your mom is Puerto Rican?
My mom's Puerto Rican, yeah.
And your father was Jamaican.
Yeah, so like my grandmother took me and my brother to Jamaica for vacation. But my grandmother has a house in Jamaica, in Kingston. And my brother got like burnt while he was out there because they got like stoves outside in Jamaica, and he like got knocked into the stove and like hot boiling fucking oil fell on him. So my mom had to come to Jamaica, get him, fly him back to America, but she ended up leaving me there with my grandmother, and my grandmother didn't want to bring me back. So I was out there for like mad long, for like a year. Then my mom had to come back and get me from Jamaica.
Yeah.
My grandmother didn't want to bring me back.
How old were you?
I was 1.
Damn, she could have FedExed you, bro. Put your little FedEx box. You would have come out like that.
Yeah. Other than that, I want to go to Jamaica. I haven't been to Jamaica. I've been to Puerto Rico though.
Yeah. Your father passed away when you were young?
7 days after I was born.
Oh wow! So yeah, you never met your pops. My pops passed away when I was 10. Yeah. It's interesting, right? It's like because I knew my father. And he lived in Florida. That always has a special place in my heart, like Florida. You know what I'm saying? Because I associate it with the memories of my father, and that's the reason. Like I fucks with Florida. Like yeah, anyone want to go to Florida? I'm there. I want to see chickens. I want to see pigs. Because he used to take me to farms and shit.
Yeah, Florida is dope. That's crazy. But I think it's like me. I never met my father. Like my brother got memories of my father because my brother's older than me and shit.
And what's the consensus of him? What do they say about him? Because I know you got questions. I know I did. I knew my father, but I always used to ask my mom, my sister to give me something, you know.
You know, like my mom, she never told me nothing about my father. Like one time she told me, like, I always ask her about my father. She always says she don't remember. But everybody, like I told you, my like fake family from Florida. Her friend that she knew before I was born, she always tells me about my father. And she's like, your dad was the most gangster guy I ever met. He used to son the police, all of that. Like when the police used to come by, they used to be scared of him. And my other aunt, she's like a church lady. Like she thinks she's like the mother from Waterboy, Bobby Boucher's mom. Like and she was telling me about my father one day. She was like, "Yo, I knew like anybody could be touched when they killed your father, because like I thought he was untouchable when they killed him." Like,
wow.
You know what I mean? Like that's most of the stories I hear. Like the other day, I was just in Pelham Bay Park, and some lady came up to me like, "You look just like your father."
Wow.
And she was like, "Yeah, he was always so kind to me, but he, like everybody else, said he was rough, but he was this and that." I'm like, I don't even know who this lady is.
That's crazy. Someone has popped up.
Yeah, nah, because she was saying she seen me on Bronx 12 and shit, and she was with her daughter, and she was like, "Oh, this is whatever."
That's dope, man. That is dope. But like, and what I mean by dope, not you know, just the fact that the people in the community like see you on TV and they celebrate, you know, what's going on with you. Do you feel like that? Do you feel like your area in the Bronx, they like to have your best interests? Like, you feel like a surge of energy being pushed forward?
Like, because of my layoffs, and I don't fight as like when I'm fighting, I feel it, but when I'm not fighting, it's like they forget about you quick.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? It's like my last, like the fight when I fought Salim Lobby, my boy got a video of me because after my fight, I went to his house and my phone is going off. I got on Instagram, I got like 100 messages. I got like people keep calling me, and I'm like, damn, look at my inbox. I show him the inbox, like my shit is not like this on a regular day. Like,
yeah.
Whenever you fight, that's when everybody like, you know, shows you love. I haven't fought in a year now again.
I know it goes by so fast too.
Yeah, so it's like when you're not active, it's like you don't really get that much love. And now when you active, everybody's showing you love. Like I bet you after I win this fight, I'll probably be on Bronx 12 again, but I don't even, that's nothing to me. I've been on there like 5 times.
Yeah.
I'm just trying to get some money. I don't even care if they show me love in my neighborhood.
Yeah. I just think it's like beyond like, you know, the obvious validation of winning, just like the good example you are. And you know, when we talk about like our fathers or whatever, my father's life was cut short because of stuff that choices he made and the street shit, right? And you know, you lost your father so young, and I'm not sure how you lost him, but let's say like the general consensus that, oh, your father was wild or whatever.
Street shit, same thing.
Yeah, it was straight street shit, right?
Sure.
So it's like, I just like the idea of like, because it shows evolution on your part. You know what I'm saying? You got your young son, you're chasing your dreams, and you're just a good example. And it's a beautiful thing. And you know what? That's success. You know what I'm saying? Some people, we think like, oh man, I need this, I need that, I need to, you know, and really it's just evolving. And you're like the epitome of that. So like I give you a lot of props for that, man. It's a beautiful thing.
Appreciate you.
And you're fun to watch fight. It's very entertaining. I like to see you gang on those motherfuckers.
August 21st is supposed to be on Telemundo.
Oh, dope, man, dope. So August 21st, my man Pistol Pete Dobson is gonna get back in the ring. And you know what? Before I let you go, Papa, you're gonna plug in the Instagram because I don't want to butcher it. What's the Instagram?
Pistol Pete Dobson.
Pistol Pete Dobson.
Yeah.
Word. Yeah, and you got you got a bunch of information up on there. People can, you know, look it up. Yo, I'm super proud of you, man. I'm happy we got to talk. It's been too long, man. We work at the same gym, and you know, I haven't seen you in months in person, but you know, you're always in my thoughts. Family is in good, you know, always in high regards. For some reason, I'm a fan of your little guy, little Eli. Every time I see pictures or videos of him, it puts me in a good mood. I think it reminds me of my daughter when she was so young, so I love to see it, man. So keep up the good work, both inside and outside the ring, and we'll get in contact. And and as soon as you get more information on the fight, I'll share it, and you know, we'll get it popping.
My God, Serge, appreciate you, bro. Thanks for having me.
I appreciate you, man. Thank you so much for doing this, man. And peace out, brother.
All right, bro. Peace.
Puerto Rican kid, bald head, loves snakes, loves Blizzy, Sergio Chacon.
Yeah. What up, Pa?
Peace. peace. Welcome to the DBS podcast. It's your boy Sergio Chacon, aka Blizzy Chacon. That shit whack.
I mean, it's always gonna be dirtbag shit podcast. The DBS podcast.